welcome back to another episode of A Shakespearean Tragedy. This week, we are discussing conspiracy theories. If you don't know this show, basically it's a one-man podcast where I just start with a random subject and talk about it and see where we end up. Normally, I'm expecting this one to be a little bit shorter than my last couple, but I don't know. Let's get into it. I'm going to start by talking about conspiracy theories just in general. In general, conspiracy theories, I think they're pretty harmful. Yeah. They make an argument over something that doesn't make any sense and claim that any little bits and pieces that don't add up or like defy their logic, they have to claim it's a cover up because what else are you going to do? Like, for example, flat earthers. Flat earthers. There's been so much research done into this. We have gone to space and looked at the earth and been like, it is not flat. Clearly. And humans have known it wasn't flat for thousands of years before we even made it to the moon. Maybe not thousands, but that's besides the point. I also heard about this one flat earther who did a study and he was trying to prove that the earth was flat, and in his study he proved that the earth was round and he refused the data. He was like, this doesn't make sense. The anatomy of a conspiracy theorist is they just take whatever bits and pieces of data makes sense with their thing, but not even really. It makes sense with their theory, and then the rest of it they're just filling in the gaps and or calling it anything that don't make sense a cover up. It would be cool to live on a flat earth though. Like, one day you could literally just walk off the face of the earth. How would that even work though? Because gravity always tends to create a sphere, from what we know from other sciences and sphere of it. So how would that work with a flat earth? As soon as you step off, would you fall? Would you float? Would you just be in space? Because why would we spend all this effort trying to make it to the moon if we could just take a boat and sail off the face of the earth? Why would we take all this effort in propulsion upwards? That doesn't make any sense. Which brings me to my next conspiracy theory that I'm going to be discussing: moon landing, moon bait. I think it's honestly a great compliment to the feat of human engineering that we have done something so miraculous that people can't even believe it. Landing on the moon, even though we're headed back pretty soon, I think, with the Artemis missions, that one kind of makes sense why people would be skeptical, but it was not fake. Oh, why can't you see the stars? I don't know. It's daytime. You can't see the stars on Earth when it's daytime, or even at night when you're surrounded by lights. Guess what? Those photos were taken with bright lights, almost like a studio's, but they weren't filmed in a studio. Idiot. And also, it tends to be the same people who don't believe that we made it to the moon that like are believing in like Elon Musk like spiritually, like, and he's trying to make it to Mars. Guys, we made it in the 60s. Sure, we can maybe make it to Mars with Elon's help, but like, we made it in the 60s. We made it to the moon in the 60s. And also, your phone has more power than the computers they made back then, and we still made it to the 60s. But we still made it to the moon in the 60s, and you're refusing to believe that fact, even though we have technology now, or even that they can show you the blueprints. If you wanted to fake the moon landing, you couldn't just fake the shot. You would have to fake the thousands of pages of schematics in all the diagrams and all the math and the trajectory that they still have. NASA still has it. One of the presidents that got us there, well, even though he never lived to see it happen, was JFK. And that's my next theory. Smooth transition. Smooth. But he was not in for a smooth ride that day. I don't know too much about this theory. Well, this conspiracy theory, it's that he wasn't is it that he wasn't assassinated? Or oh no, I think it's that there was two assassins and not just one. But what I don't know too much about this one, but what I will say, it is eerily it's eerie and weird how all of the things between JFK's life and Abraham Lincoln's life, they kind of line up because I'm gonna butcher this. I'm gonna butcher this more than a guy killing a pig, but hear me out on this. I'm pretty sure like they were he was Abraham Lincoln was killed in like Ford Theater or something, and JFK was killed in a Ford Lincoln. What? I think JFK's assassin ran into a theater or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. This next one I'm going to talk about is more of like a modern theory. I don't think it's really a conspiracy. It's just people lucid dreaming. And what I'm going to talk about is reality shifting. Reality shifting is not real, guys. If you haven't heard of this, I didn't hear about this until I watched the Odd Ones Out YouTube video, but basically it's where people believe that they can project their consciousness across the astral plane to another dimension and take over a life of a clone of them, the alternate version of them, leaving your body just behind. But also, my question is, what happens to that person's consciousness that you just took over? Do they switch? Because I doubt you guys would want a reality shift at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. Quick debunking. People say that reality shifting happens when you're sleeping. Tell me, if you are filling your subconscious with, I want to project myself into a universe where the moon landing was faked, guess what? You can probably dream that. If you write it down or like practice lucid dreaming, you can make that happen. It's not it's not you physically going out there and traveling to a parallel universe. No. 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 No, you are sitting in bed. Your eyes are rapidly moving at the speed of sound because you guys are taking in so many colors where you're like, oh, JFK wasn't assassinated. Oh, the moon landing wasn't real. And finally, 9/11 was an inside job. No, it wasn't. How would 9/11 be an inside job, guys? I kind of see a little bit of how they jumped to that conclusion. I think the crux of the theory is that 9/11 was an inside job, or like the government worked with the terrorists to create a reason to go to war in the Middle East. Who wants to go to war? I don't. I'm not trying to get drafted. No, no, no. And also, you guys are you're saying that that tragedy that happened, and you're just kind of making a little bit of a joke out of it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. One that I can kind of get on board with is the Denver airport one, because that one at least seems plausible. Not the lizard people part of it. Hell no. No. There are no lizard people, and if there was a lizard person, there is only one in the world, and his name is Mark Zuckerberg. I think, from what I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong again. Actually, I will be wrong because the whole theory is wrong. It's not true. None of these things are true. Get that through your heads. I think the crux of the theory is it's actually a secret like bunker that the government is using to hide the elites in like Fallout or at the end of the world, and or harboring aliens or lizard people. No, no. Well, my question is, why would you do it at an airport? Have you ever been to an airport? It's one of the most boring things ever, and you have to go through so much security. And it's not like they're just gonna let them go past because that'll look suspicious. No, they're gonna make them go through airport security. And guess what? One of the lizard people, so they say, is probably gonna have some metal on it if he's gonna be like try to take over the world. So guess what? He's gonna get taken into custody even if he did that. No, but I will admit the statue outside of it, Lucifer, that one's kind of creepy. And the fact that the guy who made it died from it, yeah, I can kind of see how that one happens. I'm just holding a capo right now because I just took a guitar lesson on how to play music. Speaking of music, birds. Birds, they sing. Just let me know if you guys want to take a crash course on how my transitions are, on how my segues are, because I'm riding on the Segway like Paul Blart Mall Cop. Okay, guys, I'm killing this. Birds. I think this one started off as a joke. At least I hope it did. But people believe birds, like there are birds outside my window right now. People believe that birds were sometime a while ago, they were all killed off or something, or they're all being hidden and they're all replaced by drones. Like, and that's why they sit on telephone poles because they're charging. Guys, no, no. Have you ever met a bird? It's so dumb. If they were all replaced, or at least some of them have been replaced by drones. You know how many hunters there are in America? How have none of them shot a bird and it short circuited or blew up or something? Or when they crash landed, they saw technology in it? No, that would never happen. Also, people are like, it's a cover up. It's a cover up. Guys, have you ever worked for the government? It's impossible to keep anything under wraps. I've never worked for the government, and I know that. All it takes is one person to leak it, and trust me, there are a lot of people wanting to leak stuff out there. If there's one conspiracy theory that I can get behind, it's that Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person. That's the only one I'm getting behind. Have you ever taken a quick look at Mark Zuckerberg? Like, especially before he got rid of the Caesar cut. Also, did you know this about Mark? He's like obsessed with Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire. Bro, you're an adult with adult money. Actually, more than adult money. You're a billionaire. But that's one I can get behind on board with because actually, not just Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of the billionaires they all look a little weird, you know? Like, I'm not saying they're all lizard people. Like, Elon Musk looks like a dolphin man. Have you seen him in that photo? No. No. He's not a lizard person. He's a dolphin person. Jeff Bezos. Clean shaven head. I think Jeff Bezos is just straight up an alien. Donald Trump looks like a donkey. Donald Trump is not a lizard man either. No. He's a pig man. He's a zombie pig man from Minecraft. Oh, they should have cast him in the Minecraft movie. Speaking of movies, Walt Disney's Frozen Head. That one kind of makes sense too. I don't have anything to say like against this theory. I just don't believe it's true. And the theory is that his head is frozen in a block of ice somewhere, and the reason why Disney created the movie Frozen was so that search history would stop whenever they would look up Walt Disney Frozen, it would come up with the movie instead of his frozen head. I don't believe that's true. I think it was just a little coinky dink that happened when they made the movie that it would stop doing that. Guys, believe it or not, coincidences do happen. But the thing about that is, I learned this from a TV show. One's an incident, two's a coincidence, three's a pattern. So I haven't seen a second or third. I haven't seen a third Frozen movie yet. So it's not a pattern, guys. We're okay until they make Frozen 3. We're okay, and that's where I'm gonna end this video. I think. Make sure to subscribe to my main channel and this channel. My main channel is Brendan is Bizarre on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one.